This is the Wealthy Wednesday Show with your host, Lucy McMonagle, a money manifestor, coach, and public speaker who's on a mission to helping you create more wealth in your life and business. This show will inspire and empower you with various topics and has expert guests. Let's welcome your host, Lucy McMonagle.
Hi, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday Show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. I'm so excited that you are listening today, and we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Rita Hovakimian, and she is a business coach, prosperity mentor, and she helps and empowers highly motivated women and some awesome men to achieve extraordinary success. And let's give a warm welcome to Rita. Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday Show, Rita.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, Lucy.
I am a big fan of yours, and you have been working with individuals since the late 80s and providing people with these extraordinary success, extraordinary results. And why do so many people struggle and suffer with their relationship with money?
Right. Yeah. So thank you for asking that question. Actually, the topic of money is a passion of mine, and I've been studying money and wealth for over 20 years. Because I realized in working with entrepreneurs that if you don't have an empowering relationship with money, if you can't make money work for you, it's going to sabotage your success. I mean, you can't really have a successful business unless you have a harmonious relationship with money. And what I have found over the 20 plus years that I've been working with people, and thousands by this point, is that people have all these beliefs about money. They believe that money is bad, money is evil, spirituality, money can't coincide. If you value money, it means that you're a superficial person. And there are people that are actually listening to this call that actually have a lot of money and they have shame around it. They don't want people to know about their wealth. So there's a lot of insanity people have in their relationship with money, and it shows up by experiencing not having enough money, not caring about money, being unconscious about money, vague about money, overspending money, hoarding money, avoiding the whole topic, and being greedy. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, whether you're extremely wealthy or, at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale, it doesn't matter. People are not at peace in their relationship with money. They operate from a scarcity mindset. So I really have been on a crusade to really help people have more financial prosperity, but also to have the experience of inner peace and inner security.
Wow. And, we often hear that money is energy. And a lot of people who are spiritual, they'll specify, well, money is energy and energy flows. And, but what exactly does that mean? And how does knowing that really empower our audience?
Sure, yeah. So money is an energy of exchange, and it's a sacred act. And so when you are appropriately honoring that sacred act, that means that what I'm giving to you, you're receiving. And then there's an appropriate reciprocal amount that would be coming back to me. So there's an energy exchange, and we just use, dollar bills or checks, or, we use money as a means for that energy exchange. When you're not honoring the reciprocity of that exchange, then there's something off. Somebody's going to feel resentful, or people might get, you may get greedy. And kind of overshoot the price, the fee that's appropriate for this energy exchange. So to be in right relationship with this energy exchange is really important. That to me is what I view as money is energy. It's an exchange of our energies. and we use money as that currency.
Fabulous. So you're using money as currency, and it's an energy exchange for goods and services. And when you start looking at it as an energy exchange for goods and services, it doesn't seem so mysterious on how people would perceive that. And can you tell us a little bit more? Now, we've mentioned a little bit by people, why are people suffering with their relationship with money, but can you specify on how does your relationship with money actually affect how much you charge and how to move through that?
Yeah. So I think it's really important to talk about the 4 money types, because when I talk about the 4 money types, it's going to explain why people don't charge. They particularly women. This is kind of more of a women's issue. They undervalue. They're overgivers. They undervalue their services. So let me just talk about the 4 money types, and I'm going to be able to really answer that question. So the 4 money types are boundaries, courage, deservability, and love. So I'm going to talk about each type. And also looking at the shadow part of how we are within our relationship with money, and that you'll be able to see that shadow part really informs why we undercharge. So let's talk about boundaries. So boundaries is otherwise known as the pushover. And they frequently cave in when asked for a discount. They don't hold firm to their prices. They often back down after quoting a fee. They trade services. You see a lot of women trading services. All right? And they decide in advance how much someone can pay. So this is what people that are in this money type do. And you can see why this would undermine their financial prosperity and charging what they know that they're worth.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Yeah. So the money mirror of boundaries, the money mirror, I call it the mirror because it's a reflection, but actually let me call it the shadow so we don't confuse the audience.
Okay.
The money type, this shadow reflects in their desire to help people, right? But at a cost to themselves.
Yes.
All right. So the emotional undercurrent of that money type is actually rejection. They're afraid of rejection. So that's why they will undermine themselves. They will decide in advance how someone can pay. Like they already have this complicated set of rules, pay or not pay. The unconscious belief that's underlying this type is the other person getting what they want is more important than getting what I want.
Yeah, that's a huge issue for a lot of women.
Yes, and the unconscious behavior, so how it plays out actually in business is that women will frequently customize their packages. Then in the end, they charge lower than the original amount.
Wow. Wow,
So they're the ones that will bend over backwards for clients. Again, they're I'll do anything, to get the sale, so to speak. And I will forsake myself in order to do that. And I will, and so going back to the energy of money, that's a dishonoring of the energy. You're dishonoring your own energy, and you're dishonoring the energy of the actual service that you're providing. You're devaluing what you're providing. Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the next money type is called courage. And this is And this is otherwise known as the procrastinator. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So what courage does is they don't like discussing fees. It's just like they will do anything to try not to discuss fees, and then they will rarely raise their prices. So they may be worth more because of this education, they have all this experience, and they should be charging more that's appropriate for the value that they're providing, but they don't because they're scared. So they want to keep prices at the low to medium end of the market. Basically, they don't like to stand out. They don't want to be. They don't want to. They don't want to be the tall poppy. So their highest level package, let's say they do offer a high level package, it's still lower than what everybody else is charging.
Yeah.
So they don't want their fees and their services to stand out, and they think that the people of this type think that if they just give more of their services, then they're going to get more clients. If they lower their fees, if they charge at the bottom of the scale, everybody else is, they're going to get more clients. It's actually the opposite works. It actually boomerangs back at them.
That's true.
You know, don't you? Because people can sense when you're not respecting yourself. They can also sense when you don't have boundaries. And so they will test you. But if you have full boundaries and hold firm to your prices, then you're right and appropriate. You're going to attract more of your right and appropriate clients.
Yes, exactly.
So the underlying emotional current for this type is fear. And the unconscious belief, all right, this is what's operating. Remember, we talked about beliefs. This is really why a lot of people aren't financially prosperous and they're crazy around this whole relationship because of these operating beliefs. Well, courage is I'm not significant and I don't want to stand out. I'm not significant.
Wow.
So, the behavior is that they play small and then they're invisible.
That would make sense.
And they want to be invisible. I'm sure you know people like that. They're kind of scaredy cats, if you will.
Exactly.
The money type of deservability, that's really interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs fall into this, particularly ones that do charge what they know that they're worth. But they actually have some guilt about it. So what they do is, yes, these are my fees, but they justify their fees by overloading their packages. Because they want to prove that they are providing a lot of value. So they'll just overload their packages with too many items. They'll give services away without charging.
Yeah.
It's a little different flavor than boundaries.
Yes.
The boundaries is they'll cave in for a discount. They will not charge what they know that they're worth. Deservability actually charges what they know that they're worth, but then they're overloading their clients with a lot of information and items. They have this kind of underlying belief that I'm not enough. And I can't, and I'm not giving enough. And I'm not doing enough. Well, this is actually, the shadow part that's operating here, and they always give more than what is paid for. So again, they charge the higher fees, but there's guilt, and so they want to compensate by making sure that the person doesn't feel like they're being overcharged. It's quite interesting, and they make themselves too available. So again, they have emotional boundary issues and energetic boundary issues. So the emotional undercurrent is guilt, like I mentioned before, and the unconscious belief, which I've mentioned, also, I'm not good enough as I am.
That definitely makes sense.
What? Pardon me?
That makes a lot of sense for a lot of entrepreneurs that I've worked with, and where they've bounced from the different shadow sides of their beliefs with money, or hiding. They don't want to stand out, and you were continuing to the fourth one.
Yeah. So, the unconscious behavior is that they will, of the deservability, is that they bid, buy products and services because they think what they know isn't good enough.
Wow. That definitely makes a lot of sense. And then so the four, can you explain the four?
The fourth one is love.
The fourth one is love.
So that's also known as a pretender. So this is a very interesting money type. So they will frequently experience cycles of feast and famine, up and down. They charge higher fees, but they often don't have a lot of money. And they're prone to being taken advantage of with money or being overcharged. And even though they charge the higher fees, they're still charging less than they know that they deserve. The thing with people with this money type is very interesting. They may have wealth, but they also feel shame. This is very different from guilt, but they feel shame for having money, for having wealth, and because at some point, in their childhood, it wasn't okay to have money. So there's a lot of hiding that wealth. And I'm not talking about bragging and boasting and, kind of just showing off and being self-aggrandizing about wealth, but there's a way to have your wealth be inspiring to others, and knowing that can be available. But this type, really just, they feel uncomfortable with having money. And then, when somebody compliments them, they'll go right away and say, oh, I got this on sale, and they'll deflect and they'll downplay their abundance.
Wow.
And so the emotional undercurrent is shame. And so the unconscious belief that's running the show, this is interesting. People won't accept or love me if I make more and have more than they do.
Wow.
So they'll feel like they don't belong. And that, they deflect themselves, they'll contort themselves to fit in versus source of inspiration and uplifting others. And the unconscious belief the conscious behavior is that there's secrecy about how much you make and have. You have a tendency to minimize, pointing out that you've got things on sale. This is something that I mentioned before, or they didn't cost very, very much. And so you're very, very secretive about what you do have. And so that's very, very, I can't tell you how many people, when I've spoken to groups and hundreds of people at this point about this particular topic, how many people actually have that as a unconscious belief and unconscious behavior. So those are the four money types and how they play out and how they impact our ability to charge what we know we're worth.
Wow. So let's say you have one of these money types and it's playing out on the subconscious, and so they're listening to this radio show, this e-show, and they're specifying, wow, that sounds like me, but what can I do about it?
Right.
So how would they be able to use this information of knowing what these four money types are to shape how they can shape their finances?
Sure, absolutely. That's a great question. So let's go through each money type and see what they could do. So if you've identified yourself as boundaries, remember boundaries is otherwise known as the pleaser.
Okay.
They cave in. They don't have boundaries. They cave in when they ask for a discount. So what you can do with boundaries is this. First of all, you adopt a new belief. And the new belief is this. And you have to write it down. You have to keep it in front of you if you know you're this type. I don't have the right to decide for anyone else. Only they can decide for themselves. So when you have your fees in front of you, and you should have, for people with boundaries, should have their fees in front of them. And when they quote the price, they zip up or put the call on hold or pause, or mute, I should say, and you don't say anything when you quote your price, and let them decide whether or not they want to work with you at that price. And so that's the breakthrough belief. I don't have the right to decide for someone else. Only they can decide for themselves.
Okay.
Breakthrough actions are that knowing that clients really secretly respect people with boundaries. And that so when asked for a discount, you say no. And this actually empowers your clients, because when you charge what you know you are worth, your client steps up also and gives you their best. You're bringing forth your best, they're bringing forth their best. And let me tell you something, and I know that you've experienced this, Lucy. When you charge what you know you are worth, and don't go jumping through hoops for your clients, you're gonna have a higher caliber of client.
Yes.
The ones that you discount or you overgive end up being the ones that are higher maintenance.
That's true. That is so very true.
The ones that when you respect your prices and you hold firm to them, you're going to find that you're going to be attracting clients that are easier to work with, that show up on the call or in your sessions and are willing to go to work, and they respect the partnership. They respect the working partnership. So, and then again, another action that boundaries can take is you list what your services are, so you're looking at them, and you quote what's on them. So you say no to actions. You quote your services that's actually on the list, and you say no and ask for discount. Well, let's look at what courage can do. So courage is otherwise known as the pretender. And remember, they want to be invisible, and they want to play small. So the breakthrough belief is this, and this is, again, if you find yourself in this money type, you want to print this out and put it, in your office so you can see it.
Yes.
I was created to stand tall, a tall poppy in the field. So you can say higher power created me to stand tall, or God created me to stand tall, whatever you want to say that works for you. When you were created, we were all created to be magnificent, and we were all created to stand tall. And actually, your playing small is a diminishment of the gift of the greatness that you've been given. So the actions is that the breakthrough actions is that you commit to raising your fees at least once a year, particularly if you've been getting more education, more experience. You want to check out what your fees are and energetically see what feels right. And that's a lot of how I coach people in terms of determining what the right fee is. It's like when you're deciding about, well, what am I going to charge for X service? What am I going to charge for my private diamond or my coaching group coaching programs or my VIP days? You want to look energetically what feels right, not what you think you can get or what other people are even telling you should charge. What feels right to you energetically, and to stand behind that fee. So raising your fees at least once a year is an action that the people in this money type can take. And let your quality and high standards of service make you what's special. So, they have this tendency to not feel special. So when you say the mantra, I was created to stand tall, and tall as a poppy in the field, to let the quality and high standards of service. Be what makes you special in the marketplace and let your fees reflect those standards. So see yourself as somebody that has high standards, and you will attract the right and perfect clients to work with you. I've been doing this for over 2 decades. It's just in my experience that when you charge what you know you're worth, the right and perfect client, you attract the right and perfect clients. Let's talk about desirability, because desirability was the pleaser.
Yeah.
And remember, they operate out of guilt, and they come from this place of I'm not good enough. So this is the belief. I'm perfect right now, just as I am, and I have everything I need. I have everything I need to provide my clients right now. I don't need more. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to be learning more and educating yourself more and having more experiences to offer your clients, but you are perfect and you have everything you need right now to give to your client and to have them have breakthrough results. So the breakthrough action, I'm just going to give one because I think this is the most powerful.
Okay.
Cut your deliverables in half, but charge the same fee. We want to let that sink in for a while. So people in desirability, remember, they're charging what they know that they're worth, overloading their packages.
Yes.
So what the breakthrough action that they can take here is cut your deliverables in half. Don't overload. Less is more, but don't lower your price.
That makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
Because your clients, they secretly don't like to be overloaded. They don't.
That's true.
You're overwhelming them with all of these things that you're providing, and then they feel like they can't do everything and catch up. And I'm talking from experience. But less is more. It provides spaciousness and time to integrate what it is that you're teaching them and offering.
Exactly. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one is love, which is otherwise known as the pretender. And as you know, the unconscious, the emotional undercurrent is shame. And belief was people won't love and accept me or if I have more than they do. So here's the belief, which I think is just so empowering. And again, this is something that you want to write out and put on your computer screen or wherever so you can see it.
Exactly.
That is that I help others by being a leader for wealth, achievement, and abundance. I'm going to say that again.
Okay.
I help others by being a leader for wealth, achievement, and abundance. So this type, instead of hiding and being, shameful about what they have, and discounting themselves as a person, that they actually see that what they've created and what they've attracted is a source of inspiration for others, because it is our birthright to be and to be wealthy, whatever that definition is for anybody. And this is why I'm sure, Lucy, you're doing what you're doing, because you know that you got there, and available for every person. So, yeah. So the breakthrough action, again, this type doesn't hold on to money because they feel guilt, they have shame around it. So one of the actions that they can take is actually opening up a savings account, to start keeping more money for themselves, and to also start monitoring their expenses, because they have a tendency to, again, because they're operating out of shame, they don't want to keep money. They want to spend it as fast as they make it. So that would be two actions that I would definitely recommend. But as a way of being, I would recommend that this type see themselves as a leader.
And that makes a lot of sense.
So you're actually switching the mindset. So anyway, those are some of the breakthrough beliefs and the breakthrough actions that people can take in order to, really start shifting out of the unconscious beliefs that are running the show with these 4 money types.
That makes a lot of sense. Rita, that has been so fabulous, and we're almost ready to wrap up. I wanted to ensure that you have a free gift for our audience. Could you talk a little bit about your free gift and how can people get a hold of that?
Yes, that's great. Actually, if they go to my website, inspiringsuccess.com, there's a prosperity mindset action guide, which is a free gift. It goes through enormous detail into the 4 money types that I just talked about. It talks about also how to be an attractor to be able to create more wealth and abundance. I mean, there's a 5-step, there's 5-step practices that engage in and that my clients have been engaging in that actually have you being an attractor and create the field for more wealth and prosperity. So again, if they go to inspiringsuccess.com, which is my website, they'll see my free gift, which is called Prosperity Mindset Action Guide.
Fabulous, fabulous. So thank you so kindly. And I just wanted to ask one last question. If there was just one tip that you could leave our audience with after you've given all of this phenomenal information, what would that tip be?
The tip would be and this is something that I do, even now, when I'm quoting my fees, I check in. Excuse me, we're having allergies here in San Francisco. When I'm quoting my fee, before I tell my client whether it's a speaking engagement or a private diamond client, or when I'm looking at charging a fee for an event, I check in energetically with my body. And when I say whatever the fee is, do I feel inspired? Does that feel right? Or am I feeling like kind of depressed or not inspired, or I feel resentful? To check in with your body before you quote your fee, to make sure that you're inspired by the fee that you're quoting.
Definitely feel inspired by the fee that you're quoting.
Correct. So. And it's not coming from your head. It's coming from here. It's coming from your heart. And looking at what feels right to you, not what somebody else tells you. There's so many marketing.
That's so true.
What you should charge and how you should, organize your events and all of this. But when you stay true to yourself energetically and stay in alignment with who you are and what feels right to the price that you charge, you're going to be attracting a lot more clients and a lot more abundance.
Wow. Rita, that has been so phenomenal. So thank you for being on the Wealthy Wednesday show, giving this phenomenal information on, your money type, and also giving us the tips on if you did discover which money type you are, which steps you need to take just to start breaking through that. And of course, go to her website at inspiringsuccess.com and get a hold of Rita and let her know that, yes, you would love to have her free gift and maybe you'd even like to work with her. So Rita, thank you for being on the Wealthy Wednesday show, and I appreciate you.
Lucy, I appreciate you, and thank you again for giving me an opportunity again to be with you and to speak about the topic of money, which is so passionate for me, and I know for you too.
Yes, exactly. So I'd like to thank you as my audience for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show. And please go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Wealthy Wednesday show. Let us know, what did you like about this show? Give us some information on what would you like for a future show. And also you can go to my website at lucymcmonagle.com. That's LucyMcMonagle.com, and check out my website. Check out my free gift that I have for you. And if you're interested in having an abundance breakthrough session with me, please get on my calendar, which is also on my website. So until next time, many blessings.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thanks for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday Show with Lucy McMonagle. That's on every Wednesday. Join us next time for more inspiration and empowerment from various topics and expert guests. To personally contact Lucy McMonagle, visit LucyMcMonagle.com. That's LucyMcMonagle.com. Until next time, many blessings.